Well, good morning. Hi, I'm Rabbi
Good morning.
Brian.
Morning.
Do I have an echo again? Oh no. Oh no, it's working. Okay, hi. Today is May the 27th. I am joined on the screen. I'm joined by a whole bunch of friends live. I'm going to show that quickly. Please hold. If I do.
Good morning.
And those of you with seizures or migraines, we are back to one view. I have so many notes. I have so much I want to talk about. And at the same time, I just want to just be with people. I want to start with just on a show of hands. How do you like this phrase? A delightful smidge of euphoria. Let me see on the screen if you think, hey, I would sure like a delightful smidge of euphoria.
Wouldn't mind.
Yeah, most people, delightful smidge of euphoria. It's a nice phrase. It's a nice
I don't
phrase.
like the bitch.
I like smidge.
Yeah, smidge
like-
adds something to it, doesn't it, Emily?
Yeah, it does. It's
Combined with delightful, especially.
Yeah, thank you, Rita. Delightful smidge of euphoria. Emily, can I ask you a question?
well, I don't know about the answer, but
Yeah. Two people have the same experience, but can have different experiences.
say that again.
Two people can have the same experience, but have different experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's always the case.
So talk to me a little bit more about that, Emily. Two people can have the same experience, but have different experiences.
Um,
Of the experience.
I'm thinking of a painting that my niece sent me, and I'm thinking, I mean, somebody, it's like I like it, sort of, but somebody else would look at it and say, yeah.
Right, they have
Yeah.
the same experience. You both look at the same picture, but you have different
Yeah.
experiences.
Mhm.
Let me ask
Normal.
a follow-up question. Joe. Oh my God, I'm
Yeah.
going to call on Joe. Joe, are you all right with me calling on you? You can say no.
I'm going to be brave and say yes.
Okay.
Ooh.
So here's we're going to come back to Joe in a moment and the different experience, but I just did something and I want to advocate for it. Here's a little thing. When you ask someone to do something, give them the option to say no and make it explicit.
Yeah. You say, do you mind if?
Yeah, but to really underscore it and say, do you mind if we do this? And open parentheses, it's really okay if you say no, close parentheses. Or I've sometimes started with, please say no to this request. And I'm going to ask you, would you? So, Joe, that all having been said, you all right
No.
with me asking you? And we'll move on. That's fine. That's good. Stick me for a second. So let me I do have something else. I'm a little bit confused at this moment. But that's all right. Two people have the same experience but have different experiences. So more than two people just saw what happened in the interaction with Joe and I. What do you think? 3, 4, 5 different experiences that people had? How many?
40.
40
Many
different
is
experiences that people had?
Yeah, as many as watched it or heard it.
Yes, you will have as many different experiences as those who observed it.
And sometimes even one person can have multiple experiences.
Oh, yes.
We've got lots and lots of experiences, yet we all often think that our experience is the same one that someone else is having.
Mhm.
Mm.
Mhm. Or we think that that's the normal by which all other experiences should be judged.
Yeah. What's wrong with him? He's not thinking what I'm thinking.
He's not wired the same.
And on one day I can have two totally different experiences. Yeah.
That's how wars started.
Yes.
Two people can
I
have the
remember my
same
father-
experience but have different experiences. I'm going to say as a religious official, and then Afia, we got to talk about that note that I got. So please, it's the thing that I texted you about. I'll explain. You'll be all right. A little religious thing. Let's keep in mind that different people have different experiences and that one's not right. All right. Now, Afia, Afia is often very, is like my consigliere, although I probably am using that phrase incorrectly, but we watched The Godfather last night, so I think I got the idea of it. Afia is a confidant, and so there's this I got a note from Religion Outside, from a Religion National Enquirer, just a governing body of religious organizations, saying that in the Saturday service that Religion Outside the Box, and Afia, I need your help on this, it says that I have not been shaming people enough.
Oh God.
What?
So the religious, overarching legislature for all religious organizations and institutions sent a note to Religion Outside the Box saying that we have not been fulfilling our quota of shame.
Also, I just want to be clear that what Rabbi texted me is, I wanted to invite you to the group and ask if I could engage.
Oh.
So this is my first time hearing about this note.
It's a real note.
My first reaction was middle fingers. And also kind of not surprising because
Oh, wait. I got to time out for a second to make it very clear here, and I apologize, Afia. There's no organization that sent that note. I'm making this up.
Oh,
Alex just asked. I was like, if that's real, I have lots of things to say.
Yeah, no, we're just going with a little make believe. Those
Once upon a time.
yeah.
But if it was real, I do think that it would make sense because there is an aspect of like that is a way to maintain power over a collective is to instigate great shame, right? So
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if an actual governing religious body communicated some such of a thing where
Yeah.
people are trying to, instigate their own liberation.
Well, they do it in subtle ways, even now.
More subtle than that line.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
let me tell you where the religious board of internal affairs, whatever organizing body we're going to made that phrase up. That exists within me.
Oh,
There is a governing body inside of me. I don't know how that makes sense because I only see. Anyway, I often think I'm not shaming myself enough.
Shaming yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, we can all help. Shame on you, Brian.
Well, thank you, John.
we can pitch in.
What is it? So
You trained us well.
Is that Rabbi? Is that because
go
does
ahead.
this do you feel like you've been trained into shame because it helps you? Like the myth was that when you feel shame, you get motivated to act better or to do better by people. Like, is there a connection
Yeah.
to goodness that makes it stay alive?
So there is some good quality to shame, is that if you did something that is so outside norms, when I years ago I got really mad at the dinner table, kids were little, and I raised my voice to a point and I picked up a chair. I picked up the chair I was sitting on, raised it up in the air. Well, I knew I wasn't going to hurt anyone, but there were 3 people who did not know that. And it got really quiet in the house after I did that. And then they all started to cry. And then I went to the bathroom and I threw up. And I knew what I had done was really wrong. And I felt horrible shame. And thank God for that. Well, that shame was really useful. I don't ever want to feel that shame again.
Yeah.
So shame does have its benefits. I got a timeout, folks. I'm going to just do an Etch-a-Sketch for a moment because I am so far away from what I thought I wanted to be talking about at this point. So, first, hi. This is a Sabbath service. By Sabbath, it just means there's some time off. And I'm honored and glad that you've chosen to spend this time here with this group, with me. I did have a shout out to Linda, who is watching later because they're having a surgery right now. So Linda, hope you feel a lot better soon. I hope you feel better by the time you're watching this. Sabbath is... Oh, Carol, I did not bring your book downstairs with me. I meant to. Carol Ox just wrote her newest book, and somebody please put a link to it in the chat. But Carol, in it you talk about how God creates and that we are in the image of the divine and that we need to create as well. And one of the things that God creates is rest.
Right.
And I love this idea. That rest doesn't just happen, we need to create it, and that we're here to take a moment. So take a moment, would you? Thank you. If you can, maybe you find even a delightful smidge of euphoria somewhere tucked in a corner. Could you take out a piece of paper, please? You don't have to, of course. But write on it. We tried this last week a little bit. 2 qualities that you would like to be in 45 minutes time. In 45 minutes, you would like to be more loving. You would like to be more curious. You would like to be more open. You would like to be more blank. And make a note of that. Afia, you and I did talk this morning a little before I went off on the crazy Religious Institute of Shame trip.
And
I have a thought, Afia. I don't know that I can get it back. It's 2 people have the same experience, but they have different experiences. One has a more positive experience than the other. The question is, does person B, the person who has the less joyous experience, does that person have the ability to make some cognitive shifts, to make some changes, to have a more enjoyable experience.
Yeah.
Two people are walking down the street, each gets hit in the head by a baseball. One starts cursing and screaming. One says, "Oh, look, a baseball."
Because of how hard it was hit.
Depends if you're still conscious.
Two people have the same experience, but different experiences. And my question is, Afia, help me on this. Help me word this out. What of that can we control? Because if the answer is we can control some of it, we better get going, right?
Yeah.
I think it depends on whether they were wearing
Hold
a
on,
helmet
hold
or-
on, hold on. I was asking Afia a question.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Yeah, I think it's tricky when there's suffering so obviously involved to think about how much power you have.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's part of what makes this, oh gosh, my face just took over my own screen. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a beautiful face.
It is. I like that face.
Y'all are sweet. Thank you. Yeah, I think it's tricky when it's harder to answer that question when there's such obvious suffering at play in the experience. And I think from my own process, I'm at a point actually now where I was going through this like practice of forgiving people who I felt had really wronged me. And in that practice, I don't think I've talked to you about this yet. That I realized that I wasn't as wronged as I thought I was.
Oh.
And so I had been holding.
Wait. So you were holding on to a major grudge.
Yeah.
You decided to look into it, and what precipitated you realizing that you had mountained a molehill?
I think there's some space from the sting of it, and so like if in this thing, for example, the baseball, like if I'm walking, I don't know if you said this exactly, but if the baseball hits me on my head, I could get concussed. Like there's a legitimate process of healing from the pain of that, of getting reoriented and recalibrating. And then once there's some distance from the immediate impact of that injury, you can start to consider other vantage points, right? But I think
we have to respect the natural. You just can't turn every frown into a sunshine.
Yeah, or that one thing that your question doesn't account for is the process, right? So like, yes, I do think that we all have autonomy and authority and power in reconsidering our perspective when something has happened to us, whatever the experience is. But that doesn't mean that we have to get there immediately. It might take 20 years before you can get there. It might take 10 years before you can get there. But to consider the possibility that you are not always in such a receptive role in life, I think that's part of why I'm trying to be careful in the responding it, because the other side of your question could lead to us thinking that, oh, well, we're just here passively accepting whatever happens to us.
Right.
And
And
that's not
it's
true.
it's somewhere in between. It's not that I have no control, and it's not that I have full control. Carol, you go.
Yes. When I taught at HUC, I told everyone to get an inexpensive Bible that they didn't mind marking up. And I said, choose one color ink, and then look at it a year from now and see if you would underline the same passages.
Uh-huh.
A year from that with a different color. What I'm saying is a lot of our reactions have to do with our growing and so on. I am growing now that my memories of the past are less and less toxic. And I think within another 5 years, I will have had a wonderful, idyllic childhood.
There are people, though, Carol, who go the other way. There are people who get more and more bitter with age, and you'd think nothing ever went well in their entire life. Why does that person go that way, Carol, and you go this way?
I think I hate to say this, I think it has to do with God.
Mhm.
I've heard that word before.
Yeah, explain a little bit more. what?
I believe that we are not the highest thing in the universe.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
I believe there's something above us that we are aspiring to. And the more and more we open up to that reality, the more and more we begin to see things in a more generous perspective.
The more we
And-
open up, the more we become generous. I'm with you. How do we start opening up, right? If the key is open-heartedness, if that's going to lead us, and you're nodding, so open-heartedness, if that's the
great.
key, how do I get towards more open-heartedness in my life? If I put down on my card, that's what I'm going to put down on. What do I want for the rest of the day? I want open-heartedness and a smidge of euphoria. How do I get? How do I get more open-heartedness? Say it again, Carol. I apologize.
I believe you already know that there are some things that just really move you, whether it's petting your dog or looking at a plant or eating a piece of chocolate. And you say, oh, I like that feeling. Can I extend that feeling?
Right.
You know that feeling. It's innately yours. And you need to claim it and you need to strengthen it.
So there's a moment in what you're saying, and 12-step agrees with you, is there's a choosing. You have to
Yes.
you have to choose, you have to leap, you have to let go of what you thought was in control and go towards something else. Yes, thank you, Carol. Ellis. And then
Yes.
Jack, thank you. And then Rita.
Speaking of different experiences, what I've realized, and maybe it only works for me, is the more I accept myself, the more I love myself, the less all this other stuff matters. And like Carol said, my childhood gets better and better all the time.
Yeah.
And it's simply because I've not only accepted myself, but my forebears, all the people that influenced my life, they were doing the best they knew how.
Yeah. Acceptance is the answer to all my
unfortunately, it
problems.
affects us as, especially as children, it affects us deeply. And sometimes, as somebody else said, it takes years to work through that.
Yeah. Thank you, Ellis. It does. I think I said Jack and then Rita.
Yeah, based on what Carol said, it's very true. When you start trying to love God more and more, then you find yourself undergoing a transformation in your whole body, mind, and heart.
I love it. Thank you, Jack. Rita, yes, more love, less hate.
More love for sure, and also more gratitude. For me, when I spend time thinking of what I'm thankful for, it outweighs or that which I'm not thankful for.
Yeah. And I got another one that goes in with what you were just saying, Rita, is not only more gratitude, but fewer complaints. We can game that one on both ends of it.
Yeah.
Melissa, Rags, and then we're gonna move to a new idea. Go, Melissa.
I would like to connect something that Afia said and Carol said. Afia said that the casting off, like releasing resentment and being forgiving. And you asked Carol a question, why do some people do or some people don't? And I believe that some people just become bitter because they're harboring resentments. And talking about different experiences, some people love, and I'm one of them, love roller coasters. And so for me, that's a smidge of euphoria. And for other people, it's torture.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's all I have.
Yeah. Different strokes for different folks. I love the idea of a roller coaster. And you know what I found out is I really don't like spinny rides, and this whole earth and this whole cosmos, it's a spinny ride.
Yes.
Rags, go ahead. Thank you, Melissa.
Oh, I hate roller coasters. And
that I always find very helpful is the image of living with open palms, accepting what comes, accepting what goes, and just looking with wonder at whatever's there now. And I do think that's how the universe works. And being open to the flow, not in other words, not either grabbing hold or flinging away, none of that sort of violent interruption, but just a calm kind of wonder, always attentive, always noticing, always open to what comes. That's what I find most helpful in everything we've been talking about.
It's being we're all talking the same thing. We're getting more open. I keep hearing that the same theme of being more open, less rigid, less fixed.
Yeah, not trying to reject things or keep hold of things, not trying to be in control, because we're not.
And that's gonna bring me to what we're doing here in this service. This is not a scripted service. I don't know how it's going to go, but it is almost a here and now event of let's see what's happening, and that this service helps us, or its goal is to help us develop that curious mindset and an more less fixed attitude. John?
There's an axiom that regarding skills, whether it's learning the French horn or whether it's being more comfortable with the way things are, it takes 10,000 hours of practice to achieve a form of mastery. So if we're looking to improve our skill in observing more positively, then we have a lot of work to do. It's hard to keep track of when the 10,000 hours comes and goes, but it takes a lot of work.
It does. Here's a quote, and this was hinted at in the invitation to the service. It says, "This too shall pass, and then some other bullshit will come and take its place. It never fucking ends."
Well, I mean, you think of it, the only time that exists is the present moment.
It's right now. This too shall pass, and some other bullshit will come and take its place. Here's a different version of the same thing in a meme. Annoying things happen always. Why you not learn not to be annoyed? Annoying things always happen always. Why you not learn not to be annoyed?
That's hilarious.
You have to accept.
Good advice.
Right? These are the same quote. They're just different. 10,000 hours. Okay. So if the next time something annoying happens to us, instead of us reinforcing, God, that really pissed me off. Instead of doing that, think, is there a way, can we divert the train from going on that, I'm going to just concretize myself in, and can we go more towards, well, look at that. 9,999 hours, 59 minutes to go.
That's one way. Acceptance.
Yeah.
And
Acceptance is the
humor.
key to all of my problems. Humor. But it leads me back to this question. If it's so choosable, why are we not all doing it? So it would seem to me that it's not so choosable, because look at the suffering that we have in our lives. If it were so choosable, we'd do it already. Yes, Sophia. I was just looking at you and you're like, go, talk.
I have a really... Also, I have a friend in need, so I may need to hop a little bit sooner than thought. But yeah, that question actually makes me think about the way that we respond to choice. So you all can see me. I'm obviously of the African diaspora. There's this Skip Skip Gates did this program where he was tracing the lineage of celebrities and finding and pulling out like actual stories from some of the people along their lines. And there's this one he did with Morgan Freeman, and he learns that Morgan Freeman's descended from people who were emancipated but chose to stay on the plantation that they were freed from. And it's much more elaborate, but Henry Louis Gates asks Morgan Freeman, why do you think they chose to stay on the plantation? And Morgan Freeman has this like really powerful pause, and he says, oh, I suppose they were afraid of being free. And I think about that all of the time, and especially in the movement work that I'm a part of, and I'm in philanthropy, like there are all these spaces where we ask for things that we want, we ask for things we say we need, and then when we get them, we don't know how to act with them. And so I'm really curious about us being afraid of really not having a governor, not having a punitive God that controls things, not having because it's we can even break down to simple things, right? Like if I know that dairy makes my stomach hurt, I will carry around Lactaid to minimize the hurt, as opposed to just not eating the thing that's going to hurt me. Right? We all have some example of, I know this thing will hurt me and I'm going to do it anyway. And then when we amplify out to these things like our relationships, and to this question you're asking of how could we choose that thing when it's so much harder to choose that than it is to choose not to eat dairy that will cause me pain, right? So I'm really curious about that for us as people. What is it that keeps us afraid of our own freedom and comfort?
No, that's a brilliant question. Let's sit with that for a moment.
Can I say one thing real quick? Just real quick, in the Bible, it just came to my mind that at a certain point, a slave would get their freedom, whatever the nature of that was in biblical times. But they also had the choice not to take it. So the freedman's thing is interesting. And what they would have to do if they didn't take their freedom, they would have to put their ear at a post and have it
with an awl,
with an awl, and then they would just stay. They would. In other words, it's okay, whatever you choose, basically.
But what a strong concept that we're looking at is that we are choosing. And I'll tell you what I don't like. And Carol, I'm with you. Hold on one sec. It's a damning proposition that we are the ones that are. So are you telling me I could be totally happy? It's just I'm the thing that's in the way?
And it's okay if you are.
Yeah.
That feels like I could really do a number on myself.
It's okay. Either
Carol,
way.
go.
I have a friend who, with her husband, left one of the Soviet countries. And she said it would be so hard being free.
Say that again. Say that again. I missed the words.
It was so hard being free.
Yeah.
She said, I never had to make a decision about this or this or this or this. And she was very uncomfortable for quite a while until she got used to being in America. Right. Because while there's so much that's wrong in a totalitarian state, there are so many things you don't have to think about.
Right.
As Sartre said in his famous book, I'm free, therein begins my nausea.
Who said this? Who said this?
Sartre, Jean-Paul Sartre.
Sartre.
His major work is called Nausea.
Yeah.
And what was the quote? Say it again for me, please.
I am free, and therein begins my nausea.
I am free, and right. What a
it's
that's
another way to say it is the insecurity of freedom.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. What a thing this is. But let's not. Wow. I mean, I think we can beat ourselves up, but then we have to go back to rule number 1, which is to have compassion. And hopefully to have a little less nausea than we did the day before. And then, yeah. So let me pause us for a moment. There's some chats happening on Facebook and on YouTube.
There's always chat.
And let's take a moment, and we're gonna switch gears and do some prayers and some love and light moments. Do we have that list at the ready, Maria?
I do. These are the names for this week: Rob B., Rita S., Francis, Lois Lopez, Karen, Bill, and Sandy, Robert Siegel, Ann Siegel, Mira Hannah Botfrida, April, Michelle, Krista, Robin, and Rebecca, Jim, JJ, and R, Jennifer Dobbs, the Cook family, Bill, Elizabeth, and Vicky, Mary Wolf, Andy Vasnick in spirit, Esther and Danny Sullivan, Kat, Irene in memory, Marilyn, Lois Weiner, Virginia Bridgman, Helen Tevlin, Michael Eaton, Helen Kranak, Lori, Wayne, Tammy, Matt and Monica, Paul and Kat, Paris and Emma and family, Robert, the Conrad and Cashman family, Mandy and Brandon. If there is another person in our community we can offer love and light to, please put their name in the chat and I will add them to the list in the clubhouse. And for the people who aren't named, but who are in our thoughts, we send them light and love as well.
And I'm going to ask everyone who's able on gallery view, when we take this minute at a time, there's nothing you have to do. You can close your eyes, you can do anything you want, but I'm going to encourage you, take a moment to just look at the face and the person in one of the Zoom boxes and just take that person in for a minute as we do this light and love. We'll start that. Let's start right now. Thank you all. Hey, Joe, can I ask you a question? You could totally say no.
No.
All right, I'll move on then. I have a question for the group as a whole. Here, wait, first.
That's clear.
Here, look, I baked these last night.
Can I just say that was not easy?
No, that's a, wait, what?
Yeah.
Do you want
That
to?
was not easy. Did you notice I had to dress it up and sing it and play with it in order to get it out? Like, just to sit here in front of everybody and say, can I ask you a question? And I'm saying it to the rabbi in front of the group to say no to the rabbi in front of the group just because I can as me. That was very hard.
Very good. Good job.
Good. I like the regular no better than the musical one, actually.
But thank you, Rita.
Joe, you taking on all those compliments people are giving you on top of the one you have for yourself?
I am.
That is really fucking good. That's hard. Hard to say no.
It is.
And maybe you got to dress it up with the song. All right. But you did it.
I did.
Surprised me. I have a question. Hey, look, I baked challah last night. Here's the challah I baked last night.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Rags. Anything wrong with me bragging and being proud of making these challahs?
Not at all.
No.
But they do kind of look like coronavirus.
Oh.
What?
Okay. Two people have the same experience but different experiences. That's perfect.
Problem is you can't share it.
Oh, I did. But you have to live within like a 5-block radius. So I want to talk about what Joe just did, and I want to talk about the challah, and I want to talk about you. How is it for you to be proud of something you did or of something you are? It's hard to be proud. We are. You don't get too big for your britches. You're going to hurt your arm patting yourself on the back. We're often shamed into not being proud. I just ask us to question that a little bit.
I think pride gets in the way when you look at it as entitlement, maybe.
Pride can get rancid and stinky really quick.
Yeah.
We all know people who like, ooh, boy. But I would venture to say most of us could stand being a little bit more proud of ourselves.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think it depends upon what you do with the pride.
Pride cometh before the fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Haughty spirit before destruction.
Say those words again, Emily.
And a haughty spirit before destruction.
A haughty spirit affords destruction?
Before destruction.
Before destruction.
Yeah.
A haughty spirit.
Yeah.
Haughty. Even the
Yeah.
word haughty.
Right?
Nobody wants to be haughty.
Right.
I would ask myself the question, if I had the opportunity or the chance to repeat my life, would I do it?
And you have an answer?
Yes.
Good.
I do it the same way.
Can we appreciate ourselves and that not seem negative?
Lead us on that one. Rags? Can we?
I think so.
How?
I think I've been thinking all through this entire service today about objectivity and subjectivity, and how objectivity is basically an illusion, that there is no such thing. And so that keeps coming up because there's always the point of view. There's always where you're standing. Is that clear?
I apologize. My camera got frozen, and then I was like, "What? Is my face moving for anyone else?"
Nope.
No.
No.
Oh,
You've been frozen.
That one's moving. That one's moving.
It's just your face.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I apologize, Rags. I kind of stopped paying attention at that
When
moment.
your face froze?
Yeah.
That is completely understandable. If my face froze, I would probably be distracted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi,
But anyway,
everyone.
what I was saying is, what about
Wait.
if
Well, give me a second, Rags. I'm going to see if I can't defrost myself.
Too late. Too late.
That one's working.
At
I'll
least
just
it's
move.
mixed.
Oh, that is not my favorite face.
no?
All right. So
that face may sell a lot of books, though. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, July 22nd is the book launch party. I will be bringing this face with me.
Oh.
How about your one that
Bird's eye
moved?
view and just look up. Maybe that's what
Yeah.
you need.
All right.
Don't let it annoy you.
Do occurreth.
Yeah, your voice is good. Keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's keep moving on.
Yep.
Yes, we don't need to focus on the frozen face.
Right.
And
yeah.
the upside
There you
down.
go.
Upside down.
Oh, fabulous.
Upside
I
down
like
RV.
that.
I
Like
know.
that.
Just give me a
That is
moment.
disorienting.
Oh.
Oh, that's way better.
Come on. I liked upside down RV.
You
That's
can stand on your head, Lee.
I certainly could.
There we go. We're going to go with this
There
one.
you
Rags, I apologize. Can
Well,
we
you
go
didn't
back
face to
to
face.
what you were saying?
Oh, just appreciating yourself, thinking, that often what we do with language gets us stuck in a perspective on whatever it is we're talking
And
about.
how do we do that? How do we loosen ourselves up without drugs and alcohol?
A shift in language is
A shift in language.
yeah, like appreciating. I appreciate as opposed to I'm proud of.
Oh,
or
I
other-
appreciate this about myself. Oh, I like that. Can we?
Because I think most of it, more of us can be comfortable saying, I appreciate this, then I'm proud of it. Because I'm proud of it does have all those echoes. Of,
Okay, we're going to try a thing. Alex, can you get us into small groups? We're going to all go into small groups of 5 peoples. And everyone's going to say 2 things they appreciate about themselves. You don't have to do this. But can you? Can you go and everyone do a moment of these are 2 things I appreciate about myself. Alex, how much what do we need to do to get
Your belt.
The rooms are open.
Rooms are open, so we're going to be in rooms for 5 minutes. I'll see you there. Hello. Hello. Hi. Hi. I have a question.
Two of us.
I see Chad
Oh,
and
Melissa.
Lisa and Ann and Melissa, folks, and just
there we go.
Send me a message if you
Yeah,
if you'd
I'm not-
like.
I don't
You are
see all the views of all the boxes of people. I'm only able to see the main speakers for some reason.
I don't know. I can't troubleshoot that from here, Lisa. I'm having enough of my own troubles.
Yeah.
Do you guys mind? I can go. Just give me a quick. You're being broadcast. Are there 2? I'm going to start 2 things I appreciate about me, and then I can just leave the room, unless you guys are all right being broadcast.
I don't mind.
I don't mind.
Chad, Lisa, you guys got frozen.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it is a day, isn't it? So one thing I appreciate about
They
me.
thawed out. There they are. They're thawed
They're
out.
moving. I appreciate my ability to roll with things. And I appreciate my ability to laugh. How about you, Melissa?
I appreciate that I am incredibly creative, and I appreciate that I don't always, but I strive to do things with excellence.
Anne?
As I get older, my increasing generosity to what has happened to me in the past.
Chad, Lisa, I think it's on you. You don't have to share, of course.
I appreciate my ability to speak up about things, especially when I see something wrong, bringing it to light and making other people aware. And I am happy with how I'm growing in my patience.
Patience is good. Chad, you want in?
I'd say also creativity, and being hardworking.
I noticed, Chad, you didn't say I appreciate about myself. Not that that was required, but was that because it was weird to say? Uh-oh.
Tired this morning.
Your internet went out, so we missed anything that you just said.
Want to say it again?
Just add that in front of it. That's what I mean. Yeah.
Okay.
He's a little tired this morning.
You're here. You're here. I always think it's weird being me, and then you're in a group with me, and it's a different vibe than if I weren't here. And you seem to be the only one not frozen on my screen.
I would have said exactly what I said, whether you are here or not.
Okay. My self-grandiosity has gone a little far. I don't know.
No, I think it's more that now that I am retired, I am enjoying speaking freely.
Good. And you like that about yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that about me too, actually. I like that I'm very forthright. People know how I stand or they ask, and I'm very upfront. And now, would I say I'm proud of that? I would say I'm proud of that too. I don't seem to see much of a difference. Do you have a difference between I'm proud of and I appreciate about myself?
Are you asking me?
You're the only one moving on my screen.
No, I like the connotation of appreciate better than pride, which comes with so much baggage.
Yeah.
But for me, it means the same thing.
Okay. I'm gonna. I think we are at. I don't know why the clock didn't change because I'm at 5 minutes on my watch. Oh.
The clock is frozen.
Is the clock frozen too? No.
I don't know.
All right,
No,
I will catch you all back
maybe
in the
it's
main.
frozen.
I got you. I'm gonna go back to the main room. I'll see you guys there. Oh, there it goes. If you're watching on YouTube or you're watching on Facebook, I'm sorry. I don't know what you just got broadcast. All right. Well, this is kind of working. Thank you, Alex.
You are welcome.
I'd like to say that, Brian, I'd like to say that this is the first time I experienced being put in small groups and not being frustrated that it came to an end too soon. It was very nice to get done what we had to do without pressure.
Yeah, as I do make a guarantee that the service will be exactly to everyone's liking every time.
Yeah, well, you're doing a good job.
Thank you, Michael. All the rooms are not yet closed. Alex, let me know when they are. John, I love
they're closed.
You've transformed a little bit there.
Well, I thought I'd join in the parade of.
That's wonderful. I have a few announcements to make. Oh, few announcements. Where are my announcements? Our friend James, who is in Pelican Bay, California, he got 2 of his programs approved, and I'm glad also to tell you that his case against one of the correction officers at High Desert State Prison was found in his favor. And that was a surprise and a lovely. He's not at that facility anymore, but it was just a lovely thing to know that justice sometimes does come through. Here's an announcement, as always.
Okay, thank you.
What was the case about?
Yes.
Say it again, Marilyn.
What was the case about?
It was about one of the COs abusing him. I don't have details on it. Where?
How long is his sentence for?
I think another 16 years. Where are my announcements? I had a whole stack of announcements, and I'm sure I put them somewhere clever so that I would find them easily.
Yeah, I do that a lot.
You outsmarted yourself.
Me too.
I am proud that I can play hide and seek with myself. Here they are.
And you're very good at it.
Clubhouse. Yes. The clubhouse is getting built. Thank you so much to Anne for working so hard. And then we had some beta testers who got us in. So thank you for that. If you don't know, we have and you want more information, put your email in the chat and we can inform you about the 12 steps on Monday. There's a Shekinah group that's going to meet tomorrow. That's a place if you have an itch to talk about the God word, it's a great place to do so. And they just had some wonderful articles that were posted that they're discussing, but you don't need to have read the article to show up. So please put an email in. The Stone Soup group is going to meet at 11 o'clock, my time zone. Today, put your email in if you would like.
Tom.
Say again?
For fun.
For fun. We're not doing Stone Soup for any reason except for fun. I have good news about my book. I'm talking to the editor on the 1st. I got to do something. I don't think I told you guys this. This was really cool. So the editor sent me everything, and it's pretty much all in order. And I went through comment by comment, skipped to the next comments, and fixed everything that I could. And then I did something that I never considered that authors get to do, which is I got to read my book. I had never read my book before. It was really cool. It's really good. It's going to be even better. So that was some good news. Hey, invite your friends to this service. Now, I know there's a lot of problems with inviting people to this service. One, people get sketchy about inviting someone to a religious anything. And two, it's really hard to explain exactly what we do here. If you have a simple phrase on what it is that we are doing, Michael has helped to start me thinking on how to summarize this, and it's really difficult to do in few words. So if you have ideas, please post those, send those to me. Good. If you are not yet a donor to Religion Outside the Box, or if you are a donor and you haven't already received in the mail one of these, I'm glad to send you patience. Granted, it's just a tiny piece of wood, but it is something that you can keep in your pocket. If you did not already receive this in the mail, please get in touch with me if you are a donor to Religion Outside the Box and didn't yet get one. I still got some more. And if you would like to become a donor, that link is going up in the chat. Folks, this is free, but as all things, this also is not free. There's a lot that goes into all of what's happening. So I thank everyone who is a donor. And if you're considering making a donation, I'd like to encourage you to continue in that thought until you have made a donation. We had talked last time about, oh, shoot, look at that. We're at 9 o'clock. Oh my God, we didn't get to talk about unsolicited advice. There's so much more. Come back next week, would you? In the meantime, and go back to this screen. And Alex, did I stop? Shit.